I don't know what you said to the mint master, but he left it looking like he met the Grimoire. May God be with you, mate. Your service.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
While reading it, I thought the writing style seemed familiar.
Really?
Well, yeah. As if I knew the writer himself. Or herself.
Women writing books. Come now.
Why not? I bet they would write better than many men.
Such audacity.
More like experience. I once helped with copying. Most of it was boring drivel.
I can imagine. A person does all that work to learn to read and write, but then they sit you down at a table to copy the works of others for the rest of your life.
Waste of time, right?
Not just time, above all, talent.
Hold on. Who wrote this, then?
I did. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. What should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men. So I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
I admire courage in girls. They're weaker than men, and life is rarely easy for them. But they still don't give up.
Do you know one like that? Tell me about her.
How could I not? After all, I'm looking at her.
You think I'm brave? Father says I'm more rash, always acting before thinking.
Well, nobody's perfect. But in my opinion, you're certainly brave.
Enough, you flatterer, or I shall blush. We'd better get to writing. Let's say we write about a woman who is brave and isn't afraid to say what she thinks. Would she do it for herself or for someone else?
Make her brave for someone she loves. That's much more commendable than if she were only thinking of herself.
You can't disagree with that. And to make things a little more interesting, the love will be secret and forbidden, because forbidden fruit tastes the sweetest. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Lie on the ground on your stomach and swing your legs, but not much. Like you're lazing around.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
Well, now we're done.
Finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
I haven't read it yet.
Well, go make amends. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see, when I lead mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
You said you could...
If you ask nice...
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. So...
Trouble. Anything. Don't bullshit me.
If you're going to yell at each other, quick to write.
A blessed evening to you.
That beer.
I'm here. I'm sure you have another job for me.
I do, but not just any job. Dies Irae is upon us. We'll finally hit Sigismund where it hurts the most. We'll cut off the flow of silver into his purse.
It sounds like you want to shut down his mines.
Aye, that's exactly what I'm planning to do. Well, what we're planning. And you'll be the most important figure on the board.
What do you mean?
As you already found out, the flow of silver is the reason why Sigismund laid siege to the city. If we take that reason away from him, he'll have no choice but to leave.
If you put it simply like that, I reckon you're right.
Can I count on you?
I hope it doesn't hurt anyone else.
How do you want to do it?
With the combination of modern science and some good old hellfire.
Could you be a little less cryptic?
We're going to blow the place sky high.
Aren't you afraid of the gallows?
What's one human life compared to the importance of saving the entire kingdom? Someone would have to rat us out. And I don't think any one of us would do such a thing.
Why me of all people?
You're reliable, Henry. You've proven yourself. Besides, I've heard you've been down in a mine already.
Just a moment.
It won't be anything new to you.
I still don't exactly know what it is you want me to do.
Do you know what black powder is?
I've had the pleasure. A lot of smell, smoke and noise.
1 barrel should be more than enough for our purposes.
A whole barrel?
We need to collapse the adits, and to be sure it'll work. Your job will be to get your hands on the powder and bring it to the mine.
You can count on me. Do you know where I could start?
I know exactly where. Ask the gun forger, Eldris. He's one of the Kuttenberg councillors and one of Sigismund's men. If there's anyone that knows where to get black powder, it'd be him. Wouldn't it be the irony of fate that the one behind Sigismund's fall will be one of his allies?
Getting the information out of him won't be easy. But we'll see.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. And remember, I don't want to see any needless violence and bloodshed. We're trying to overthrow a tyrant, but not stain ourselves with mortal sin.
Don't worry. I'm no butcher.
As soon as you have the barrel, head straight to the mine. Goliath and Hogg will be waiting for you at the camp near the entrance. Oh, and before I forget, here's a few groschen. Hopefully they'll make your search a bit easier.
Sakura. Looks like a late one again today.
Well, I reckon you've got a better offer for me again.
You're damn right. And not just any offer. So keep your voice down, in case anyone's listening.
Tell me, then.
You've been here for some time now, so I'm sure you've noticed Chenyek is... well... you know.
I don't know. Continue.
Chenyek is a weakling, and too careful for his own good. Always babbling about his ideals, telling our fellas they can't do this and that's not appropriate.
The guild isn't supposed to be a band of killers and thieves. It's about a greater purpose.
Bullshit! Chenyek's the only one that cares about noble causes. The rest of us are here because we'd die on our own. Unless we start bringing in a lot more money, we'll all starve to death anyway. Chenyek is dragging us down.
What are you trying to say?
Psst. I'm trying to say that, in theory, if Chenyek wasn't around, we'd all be better off.
What's in it for me?
A lot of groschen, and your share of the sales. That sounds good, doesn't it?
Forget about it. The only one bringing the guild down is you.
Easy now, friend. I was just kidding. You didn't really think I meant it, did you? Let's just go our separate ways and forget this ever happened, eh?
You better not fuck with me, Knuckles.
Take care. Have a good evening. Greetings.
Careful.
Farewell, good sir.
I'll be right there.
Sei gegrüßt, mein Herr. Was wünscht...
Are you Eldris, the gun forger?
Yeah, that's me. What is it you need?
I'm looking for black powder. A whole barrel. Can you help me?
Wait. Ein ganzes Fass. Forget about it. I would only sell something like that to one of my verified customers. In this case, that would be the town garrison or the King Sigismund himself. Are you one of their messengers?
I'm here on behalf of the great King Sigismund of Luxembourg himself.
Good. Do you have a letter of assignment?
Of course I do. Stop wasting my time. You wouldn't want to keep Sigismund waiting, would you?
Nicht das, no. I would be happy to oblige the king if I could, but even my supply is not infinite. Unfortunately, I don't have any black powder at the moment. I was robbed recently. Can you believe it? Scheißdreck.
Isn't there anyone else who makes black powder?
Definitely not here in the city. Es gäbe dann einen Weg, but you cannot tell anyone I told you.
Go on then. My lips are sealed.
My business rival, Whisker of Colin, also supplies black powder to the camp. Ist eine glitschige Schlange, aber that is of no importance to you. More importantly, Whisker drives his wagon north from Colin through Bohunowitz towards the military encampment with a powder in tow. If he were to lose it, he would be in großen Schwierigkeiten.
And I'd have my powder.
Exactly. But like I said, you didn't hear it from me.
You can count on me. Thanks for the help.
That nobleman. Back. He said he's not going to let it drop.
Easy, good horse.
Hear tidings of what is happening in our city.
Christ.
Whoa! Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want? And tell the truth.
Well, I just want to climb the social ladder a bit. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
And could you not choose a different occasion for that?
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
That I don't want to show them to him.
Christ, what's the world coming to?
And how about a few groschen to seal our fruitful relationship?
You're
And he tried
worse
to
than a
persuade me
horse
to give the
dealer.
church money for
Have it your way, then. You can get into the council assembly relatively
Do I look like a
easily.
ninny?
My
Well, I
cook's
see the
son
church
will
really
be
does
serving
need
there.
repainting.
He's roughly around
Well,
your
I'm not
age.
paying for it.
Maybe he
Look,
can be
the priest is
persuaded
the
to let
priest,
you stand in for
We
him.
all go to
Although,
Let the
not
bishop or
everyone would
someone
want to
take
give
care
up
of
an
it. I
opportunity
don't
to
care.
serve the
I see
King of
what you mean.
Hungary.
But
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name.
What's that?
Franta Cooldown.
really are
He's an
pretty
idler and a boozer,
think
but
so?
he's proved his
He's a
worth
sailor
as a
now.
waiter. Which reminds me,
serious.
you'll need his
take
letter
this
of
the wrong way.
permission to serve in the council.
really are.
Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners, and the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
So, Master
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Dyed broadcloth, beautiful colours, striped fabric.
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Hose, colourful hose.
Of course.
Great for church.
Who do you take me for?
All right, no need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse, clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Fresh goods. A wonderful day for a wonderful...
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
I'm no greenhorn. I have plenty of experience. Not long ago, I poured wine for the Archbishop of Mainz.
Oh, I see. Forgive me. But allow me to give you one piece of advice. Sir Adam of Zarjitz will be among the guests. Don't pour wine for him. Otherwise he'll get drunk and disgrace us all in front of the king. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
City reserves are in urgent need of new weapons. Unversöhnlich. Our current Waffenarsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at,
A full
Eldris?
cup of monastery wine. I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the
I apologize, sir.
used that
Which wine?
Monastery
that
Red.
Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm
Sir?
saying is that they had them, Herr Gott. It is eine Schande
Thank you,
when
waiter.
outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubricker everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down and
Waiter,
want to
get me
defend
white.
themselves with a few rusty helpers.
And who is it you want to fight? Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund provides...
I apologize, sir. Which wine?
Are you colorblind?
And his army
White.
will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at
Sir?
any moment. What if he heard you?
What then?
Well,
We're
thank
sitting
the
atop
Lord.
the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's
Tokai,
enemies.
and a full cup.
Nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with
I
the
apologize,
Yemenite
sir.
state of our
Which
armory.
way?
White
The king
Tokai.
is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
Sir?
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter?
Thank you.
Wreak havoc all around.
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is
Hey,
not
youngster,
what it should
some
be.
red!
The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right. We do have the new bath in Hoppring, and Adam's old ones, but I hear the Hoppring bath
Sir?
is more of a pigsty.
They still are a bit, but the
That's the
quality went
way.
downhill at Adams.
Good
too.
lad.
What? Great hell. I thought you were a frequent customer there. Or has he grown tired of pampering you for free?
It's not about me at all. Our town's best interests are on my mind. Betty's
Is
baths
everything
are
all right?
considered the town baths. But let's not be fooled.
What do you mean?
The tax brings in some money for the town, yes. But it's still just a tax.
And what else would you want?
If the town itself took charge of the baths, the profits would be much bigger. And all the other baths would chip in with their taxes, too.
What? More baths? Surely not.
The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
Oi! So what?
like some white.
Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Sir?
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean
My
is
cup
important,
is empty.
but we don't have money.
Pour me some white.
Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same
Be
thing.
glad I can
Not at
hardly
all.
sit
If you'd
upright.
finally admit
Otherwise,
it's a trifle,
I'd
we
go
wouldn't have
for
to
that
keep
white
coming back to it.
myself.
A trifle.
Thanks.
Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What have the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his we know. Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure
Sir?
what you're implying.
Horseshit! You know full well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
That's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Boy,
Me?
a full cup of monastery wine.
Me?
I apologize, sir.
I beg
Which
your
one?
pardon. I demand that you...
Ruhe! Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh,
Right, sir.
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true.
Hey, waiter.
In this case, it
Pour me some
really was
monastery
nothing.
wine.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated.
Sorry.
I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble.
Well,
he is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. The gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us. It's now
Refill,
run
sir.
by the German
Do you think I come to the
Menhart.
council just to guzzle
Who knows
wine?
who that?
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
I really shouldn't, sir.
A fine servant you are.
And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughingstock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason?
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
And you,
Another drop of wine.
let people
Don't make
throw
me...
Good, sir.
That's the way. Good lad.
Since there is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses.
You there, lad.
It's just a village
cup
with
of
a
bread.
monastery,
And
and they are
don't
going
you
to mock a
skimp
royal
on
mining
me.
city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band of parasites. You pay them, they come
You,
late,
lad.
or report
You look
sick,
familiar
and if
to
they
me.
do come,
Have we
their
met?
work is
Well,
shit,
naturally.
and you have to pay
I go
someone
to your
else
tavern
to
almost
put
every
it
day.
Right.
Really?
It's a waste.
Then you must have decent
of
wages
time.
to be
I
able to
tell
visit
you,
the best
a
tavern in
waste
town
of
regularly.
time.
Adam, don't interrupt the proceedings with your drunken ranting, even if you are in the right. And as for you, Endelin, haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far
Tokai,
off supposed to work
and
in
a
the city
full
under
cup.
siege?
Besides,
I
I get the
apologize, sir.
feeling there's something other
Which
than the
one?
welfare of
Tokai,
the city
white.
behind your complaints.
Death.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
Sir?
So what if I was...
Hold your horses, gentlemen.
It's
That
you.
space in the side
I
gate
see
is
you've
mine.
come up in the world.
Hell freezes
From a
over, my
bathhouse
boy.
boy to a
Your
waiter.
place is at least
You'll
2
go a
steps
long way.
behind mine.
A
might
swordsmith
make councillor
dares to
one day.
insult me?
You're a
I think
merry
not.
soul, lad. I
Excuse
like
me.
that.
You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well,
Hey, wait,
I hope
Mr.
you're not
Tokai.
supplying equipment to the army.
I apologize,
If
sir.
that's all they have.
Which wine?
They would be
Tokai,
defeated by that
white.
bunch of
Are you
ne'er-do-wells
deaf?
from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch
Sir?
them war.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because
Thank you.
it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Juchek Ose, Alegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this band of fights!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches,
and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin. A friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
And what can I get for you?
So, be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh. I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Malashov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted. But they never broke my spirit.
You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a farce to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Henry's done a few things I'd like to give him a slap or two for. But like they say, to err is human. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
We'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain... shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Bocek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans. God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No, no. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Haman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
What brings you here?
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
My lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of the...
I'd like to check your horses out. See if they're as good as you say.
Ha! Even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well. We have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. They don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honor of...
Look in my eyes, not at my sword!
Enough! That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Why we mustn't push too hard.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms, that's a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Don't worry, it's not just your money I want to draw on. Believe it or not, we've gained other patrons for our cause too.
Really? Name at least one of those lunatics then.
Anna of Volstein, for instance.
Truly? Well, let's see about it then.
I wouldn't mention the word lunatic.
All right, let's discuss it, candidly. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Leipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, I explained to him how such an alliance could be mutually beneficial.
Mutually? What do you mean?
He's got a pretty serious personal interest in this... bond.
Stop beating around the bush and spit out what you promised him.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parleying skills.
Lend me your foot to this, not again.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed? Without reservations?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yivka and the unhappy Lord Capel.
Here's to a good bargain.
I'm still hoping it works out. We walk out of here with a clear...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swill pot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Sargitz, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries. They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
While the council was meeting, von Berghoff and his men set out for Rebels. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If the bush falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
I want to break in. Did you hear that Lord Constant's goose is marrying the young